Hello and welcome to this second episode of Tea Time with a healing practitioner. My name is Slava, and today in this episode I would like to talk a little bit about my healing journey. And my intention is simply to share, let myself be seen a little bit, and give you maybe some idea of what is possible through energy healing and transformation work. I would say that my healing journey really started when I was 22 and I lost a very dear friend who passed away in a flying accident, and this has impacted my life so deeply, really profoundly, and kind of in a way really helps to wake me up. It doesn't mean that I started right away, but it helped me to realize that I was sleepwalking and that a lot of the things I was doing or living were not meaningful to me or not essential to me. So it was really the spark that I relied on later to start the work. So this episode is dedicated to Sandrine. And I will start telling you my journey from the Brennan school, although I had already started studying shiatsu and reiki before that. This is when the real transformation work happened. So I think it's the most significant moment for me to share with you. When I entered the Brennan school, before I started this school, I can see now how I was so numb and so disconnected from my body and to some level from my emotions. I remember when I was at the end of my master's degree, I studied law, and I remember someone telling me as we were saying goodbye that I was so cold. And I remember being so shocked by this statement because it was really not reflecting what I was feeling inside. I was really distressed, actually. I was like, how can you not see how sensitive I am, actually? It could not because I was not showing it, and because I was also alternating between phases of feeling a little bit of my feelings and then being completely overwhelmed and numbing everything out and not being able to stay with them or even less express them. I also had intense fear of people, and that would translate as social anxiety. Sometimes I would just I was needing something in the shop, and I would just walk by the shop, look inside, see the seller, and being like, yep, not today, and decided that okay, I will just not buy what I need because I'm so scared of having today. I'm just too scared to have a human interaction. So that was really quite intense. And looking at that now, I have it feels like another life, and have so much compassion for the struggle I was in. And so this first year at the Brennan school was really, like, the beginning of the journey was really about strengthening my capacity for presence in my body and with my emotions. And so I stopped numbing little by little. And I remember after the first year being so blown away by the work and thinking like, it's like I've been living all my life, all those 30 years in black and white, and suddenly realizing how much more vibrancy, how much more colors life really has. That was an incredible gift. So, but what I would like to say here is that sometimes it gets worse before it gets better, in a way, in the sense that because I was more present, because I was more able to feel my own emotions, it also meant that I was feeling all the bad stuff, like the fear. I was feeling it so much stronger, the pain, the anger, of course, the shame, the grief. It's not just the joy. It's not just the pleasure that are suddenly accessible. Of course they are, and that's wonderful. And the reason why I was numbing in the first place, to avoid pain, this had to be felt. This had to be released. So there's a moment in the healing journey where things are not so pleasant, and I just want to really maybe point that out. Like, I know I've been there, and I know there's no magic pill in that sense. Nobody's going to fix you and suddenly you're happy. That's not how it works. That's not how healing works, at least not in my experience and not in my belief. But then there's this gift of being alive, of living this human experience to the fullest, and the level of joy and pleasure that comes with that. But also, as you go deeper and deeper, the level of contact with your own essence, the understanding that whatever the feelings, whatever the experience, the understanding and the groundedness in who you really are, that is a source of a different kind of pleasure and peace, ones that are with you all the time to a certain degree, and that can really help you go through any obstacles with this sense of grace. Once you know who you really are, the freedom, the strength, the love, the spaciousness, it's just you can't compare that to anything else. It's already here, and there's nothing to chase in the future, and there's nothing to dwell in the past. It's all here now. So this centeredness, this richness of being oneself is the gift I would love to share with you. It's incredible to look back and to realize how now my longing is to be in contact with people, but deeply, deeply in contact. To be in deep presence together, to see through all the layers, and to sit with the emotions, the beliefs, the pattern, whatever is present with them, and go beyond all of that and see their soul and let them see my soul. So this work that I do now, where we really are in communion with clients, seems so far from the fear I had of people. And even stranger is now the belief, or not the belief, but now the desire I have to work with groups of people, and actually the fact that I have started to lead ceremonies, so to work with groups of people. Like, I would, if you had told me that 5 years ago, I would have laughed so hard. I would be like, no way. So that's, it can be so surprising once you agree to do the work, go through it. What you find underneath, the longings, the gifts, the things that were hidden in the shadow, it's not just all bad stuff. It's also, we say sometimes there's a golden shadow. It's also some really great things that, were really well hidden and will reveal themselves as you walk your path. And at least for me, it was very surprising. And I'm curious each time I see a client, where is this path going to lead them? it's a surprise for both of us. That's what makes this work so exciting and so rewarding, to see people grow into themselves. There's so much joy and pleasure in that, really. I love it. And that's about what I wanted to share with you today. I hope it was insightful. You are welcome to reach out to me if you have any question or topics you would like me to discuss. Enjoy your tea. Bye-bye.